Welcome, race fans, to the Racing Roundup Show. For 39 years and counting, we are your destination for news and interviews from within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for America's longest-running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd live and in person for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday night. It's an action-packed show. Race cars out front. A driver who just won $250,000 is on the show tonight as well. We have a lot to talk about in the world of motorsports here in the next 90 minutes or so. Come on down and join the racing crowd. We're live at Paulie's Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield Avenue, across from Turn 1 of the Milwaukee Mile. Guests tonight include American Super Cup Series champion Sean Urick, who is also racing a pavement sportsman. He brought with him tonight. Thank you guys for bringing the car down. After a couple of decades out of the seat, 602 Outlaw Late Model racer Larry Johnson's here, and he brought his Outlaw Late Model with him as well. Love to see that. Thank you, guys. Midwest Truck Series driver Kevin Zelezinski is here with his dad. They brought their number 38 truck on display, so bring the kids, bring the camera. Let's have some fun. We also introduce you to an ASA Midwest Tour Rookie of the Year candidate from Texas, Barrett Polimas, who's hanging out with us tonight. He's racing around the state of Wisconsin this year. And when we come back, matter of fact, we'll do it right now. Why don't we do it right now? He's on the phone. Let's go. What do you say? We're going to have him on the show. He, Saturday night, raced his way to a $250,000 payday, the richest World of Outlaws sprint car purse ever. It was a 4-night grind at Huset's. Let's bring in the man who won the Highbank Nationals, David Gravel. David, welcome to the Racing Roundup Show.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, it's so good to see you here. I thought maybe I'd catch you on a boat somewhere and we would lose signal because you're in the Bahamas celebrating. What you been doing since the big win Saturday night?
Nothing too exciting. I had the whole family out and had to drop my son Levi and wife Jill off at the airport, and we're back here at the shop in Windham, Minnesota, and just restocking the merchandise trailer, getting my life back together after partying it up Saturday night and hanging out with the family on Sunday. And we still got work to do, but it was definitely an awesome weekend.
And David, it was a grind. I know there's a lot to putting on a race this big. Last year, Houston's put on a $100,000 to win race. You finished fourth in that one. The owner of the racetrack, Todd, owns your race team. How much extra work goes in it for you? And we'll talk about the satisfaction of winning the big one for him.
For our team, we have a special paint scheme for that event. Billion Automotive is a sponsor of the racetrack and our race team. So the boys had to prepare a brand new race car with a white tank instead of black and a whole different body and wings and stuff. So that takes some extra work. For me, there wasn't too much extra work, but had a different T-shirt design at the racetrack. But, we just brought our best bullets in the chamber and, went there for 4 nights and was very fast and competitive.
And, David, when it comes to the racing itself at Houston, you're more familiar with that just about anybody there, just based on your knowledge, your experience. But then the rain hit you guys on Saturday. How did that change things out for the first half of the race? It seemed like you were really searching, and I think a lot of guys were just trying to figure that out, and you guys got a handle on it, running second for as long as you did there.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things. We started fourth and was able to get the second right away, and that was a huge benefit. And from there, I could kind of just pace Buddy and kind of settle down and not wear my stuff out. And actually slowed down too much, and Logan Schuhar got by me.
Yeah, he did.
And, I was able to fight back and get by him, and then Buddy broke with 10 to go, and it all was history from there. So the track was a little fast because it rained, but it still got pretty wide, and there was still a bottom and a top. And, it was a little bit different track than all the other nights just because of the rain. It was real smooth, but it was also really fast, and plenty of grip up high, and if you could get down low and slow down enough to grip on the bottom, that was good as well.
And it's amazing that on lap 31 things changed, but also there was a 3-car tumble in turn 3, so you actually had 2 restarts in those final 10 laps. Rico was coming. Schuhart had a pretty decent piece. Then this Kyle Larson guy ended up finishing on the podium. I mean, there's a lot to happen in a short period of time at Houston. I want to talk about how precise you were. Congratulations for that. How precise you were getting that right rear just where you needed it, because that's exactly what you had to do for those 10 laps, including a couple of restarts. That was amazing to see how skilled and how precise you had to be. How difficult was that, knowing that, okay, at any moment, somebody's going to put their nose next to me here?
Yeah, for sure. You could easily mess it up running the cushion and burying your right rear too far in it, or being too under it and spinning the tires. So luckily we got great restarts both times, and it was single file restarts. If there was 11 to go, it would have been a double file restart, and that changes everything. So just a couple things went our way, which I felt like we were due for a little bit, and it happened at the perfect time. But I tried the bottom one lap, and it didn't work out too great, but it was one of those things. We had enough gap, and we got to lap traffic on the last lap, and was able to slide Brownie there in 3 and 4 in the last corner, and Rico kind of struggled there. So it was good to do all the right things, be in the right place at the right time, and seal the deal.
Have you got any sort of reaction from people that you may have not have known that had your number? I know back in the day you talked to Jeff Gordon, who got you involved with the Exalta sponsorship and won some big money then, and got a sniff at a couple of NASCAR and ARCA drives. Anybody that popped on your phone like, oh, wow, that's cool, I heard from that guy because of the huge win you had on Saturday?
Nobody too cool this time. I was expecting Jeff to text me, but he didn't. But something like Jonathan Davenport did, and a lot of just friends and old sponsors and current sponsors, and a lot of family. You know, there's like probably over 300 I had to respond to. So no A-list celebrities though.
Well, I'm just happy you took time out to talk to us. I want to look ahead now. This momentum, there's a lot of racing between now and the Kings Royal. A lot in Wisconsin. You guys are heading to Cedar Lake this weekend. What are your thoughts about racing in Wisconsin for 2 nights? Not too far from the race shop, right? A couple hours away?
Yeah, it's not bad. I love racing in Wisconsin. Probably my favorite state to race in. The fans are awesome. I feel like Beaver Dam and Cedar Lake are a lot of fun. Wilmot's a lot of fun. So I feel like Wisconsin's a great place to race in. I love the scenery. Just it's a beautiful state. So looking forward to that. But yeah, we got the Kings Royal and the Million and Knoxville Nationals, and we still have a lot to look forward to this year.
Wilmot Raceway is hosting the World of Outlaws, a Larry Hilliard Memorial 40-lapper on Saturday night, July 8th. It's kind of cool you guys aren't racing 5 nights a week. It's almost like you guys have a little breather in between some of these bigger shows. And then you roll in the next weekend. I imagine that confidence you have is got to be pretty high right now, knowing that there's a $175,000 check awaiting the winner of the 40th Kings Royal on the 15th.
Yeah, for sure. And the Millions 2 days before that. So that's a huge deal for us in our sport. But yeah, the World of Outlaw Tour, we race a lot. That week of the Kings Royal, we start racing on Tuesday in Attica and race every day till Saturday. So that's 5 days in a row. It's a grueling week. It's hot. We have to travel from Attica to Eldora after the race is Tuesday and get ready to race Wednesday. So it's definitely a very, very grueling time of the year. But everybody's got to do the same stuff. So there's a lot of money on the line, and you just got to grind it out.
And you're very aware, very present. I want to go back to Attica. That's Tuesday night, July 11th. You're racing in the Brad Doty Classic. I've had a chance to announce races when Brad was racing in the World of Outlaws, and I also got a chance to recently work with him a bit on some MAV TV television work. Guys like Brad, it's cool that he's way involved in that. Do you guys have, do you talk to the guys that roll through the pits? Do you see Bob Kinser on a given night and shoot the breeze with him for a while? I mean, those guys kind of help build where we're at now, getting these big money purses. I just want to get your take on Brad Doty and other guys like him that are giving back to the sport and also still way involved with what was built back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah, Brad's a great guy. I talk to him every time I see him. He actually calls or texts me a couple times a year asking about if it's merchandise or die-cast cars or what guys get paid nowadays, and he tries to stay present with everything that's going on. So as far as older drivers, he's probably the one I talk to the most, to be honest with you. But when I see Steve Kinser at the races, I'll say hello, and once in a while I'll talk to Sammy if I see him. But it seems like a lot of those older drivers, when they're done racing, they don't come around too often. Maybe they'll come to the big races, but they probably don't want to, hang around and get the itch again and want to get in the car.
I hear you. We've had the pleasure of talking to a number of drivers like you just mentioned over the years, and we came up with this one. This is the Andy Hillenberg diecast of his SDP days. It's got the 2 on. We thought we'd do something special. We give away stuff after every show, but just the idea that you had a chance to win the big one. You got a lot more to do. You're only 10 points out of the point lead, by the way. I don't know if you looked at the points lately. I mean, things are clicking right now. How much you guys going to have to prepare with different race cars? Have you guys already got it mapped out where, okay, after Attica we got to do this, or we got to have this car in waiting? I mean, how does that all plan out, and how involved are you in that?
Yeah, that could all change, but that's more the crew chief's job of when we're going to run what car where. And like I told you before, we ran a new car at Huset's with the billion paint scheme, and we're going to keep running that car with a different body this weekend, and then we'll go back to the car we were running all year with the following weekend, and then we'll run that car at Attica. But then for Eldora, we'll pull down the car we ran at Knoxville a couple weeks ago. That was also a brand new car, so... it's a car, musical chairs right now, and that's, a big part of being a crew chief is picking when and where to use what equipment, what engines, what cars, and managing how much time is on everything. These parts can't be ran too long. Rear ends could only be run about 15 to 20 nights before they need to get rebuilt. Front ends, probably about the same. So there's a lot of managing and keeping track of how much time is on everything.
For sure. And I'm glad you got some time to spend tonight. You mentioned your boy Levi. It was so cool to see him get that big hug from you. That had to be a special moment. Was that his first time in Victory Lane this year with you?
No, luckily Levi was with us in Florida, and we won a bunch of times down there.
Sure.
So he was even smaller, obviously, then only a couple months old. But, he seems to be a pretty good luck charm, honestly. When Jill and Levi are there, we win a good amount.
Well, let's keep on winning, and we can't thank you enough for taking a few minutes of your busy schedule. How about I say for David Gravel joining us tonight here in Wisconsin on the Racing Roundup Show. Thank you, David, so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we'll see you at Wilmot on July 8th, if not sooner. Check him out. I'm telling you, Gravel's got it going on. Won a $250,000 race on Saturday evening, the Huset's High Bank Nationals, and it was really something special to see. You actually can catch YouTube highlights if you don't have Dirt Vision. It's certainly worth a watch because he was flying around that racetrack. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about NASCAR. We've got a lot of cool guests, a lot of cool race cars outside. We'll be right back after these messages, live from Paulie's Pub and Eatery on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Make your pit stop now and get your tickets for the return of the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
July 27th through the 29th at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. This weekend will also be jammed with on-track and off-track action as the Porsche Carrera Cup will also be on the schedule. Road America voted best NASCAR track by the fans. Kids 16 and under get free admission with paid adult. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com. Road America, your National Park of Speed.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Hey gang, Richie Bickle here. I want you to join us for the largest short track party at sea. Sail the Eastern Caribbean on the Norwegian Encore this coming January 7th to the 14th. Join Scott Hansen and myself and a bunch of other drivers on Bickle's Bon Voyage cruise. Enjoy unlimited craft beer, drinks, gourmet food. You might even get to race against us on the go-kart. We'll have a special question and answer session with racers on board, and I know it'll be a ton of fun. Escape the January winter weather. We'll see you in the Dominican Republic, Tortola, and the Bahamas, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Sail the Caribbean with us January 7th through the 14th on Bickle's Bon Voyage. Call Mark at Making Memories Travel at 262-527-1341 or visit mymmtravel.com and click on Bickle's Bon Voyage. Link for information.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows, too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program here on this Tuesday night, June 27th. A lot going on. What a great catch we had. Thank you, Greg Lapine, for getting us David Gravel lined up via live video. Say that 71 times fast. It's kind of hard to say. Via live video. That's pretty cool. A lot of cool things on the way here tonight. I want to tell you what's going on in the world of NASCAR quickly. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR Report. Interstate Batteries are the number one replacement battery in North America. Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has a battery for every need. Find the dealer near you at interstatebatteries.com. They proudly sponsor Joe Gibbs Racing. This report is brought to you by NASCAR's return to the Milwaukee Mile. Tickets are now available for the racing doubleheader on Sunday, August 27th, which starts with Luke Fenhaus competing in the Sprecher 150 ARCA Menard Series race, followed by Ty Majeski leading the other playoff contenders in the Clean Harbors 175 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race. Visit MilwaukeeMileRacing.com for more information. There's also a deal right now on the Wisconsin State Fair Park page. If you go to the State Fair, WIStatefair.com, click on Deals and Discounts, and there is a State Fair ticket and a race ticket for a whole lot less than you pay for each separately. So there's a combo ticket on the State Fair website, WIStatefair.com. Buy a ticket to the fair and a ticket to the race. It's going to save you a bunch of money. Needless, Ty Majeski had a rough go on Friday night's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race. He dropped from second to fourth in points after a 31st place result. The team chased an electrical issue all night long. Michigan's Carson Osavar won his second truck race of the season after he held them all off at Nashville Super Speedway to win his second race of the year. He led the last 40 laps. Surviving a double overtime finish, A.J. Allmendinger at Nashville drove his colleague racing Chevy to victory lane in Saturday's Xfinity Series race at Nashville. Franklin, Wisconsin, Sam Mayer drove from 34th to 8th by the end of Stage 1 and put it on the podium. Finished third at the end of that race on the 1.33-mile concrete oval. Nice job, Sammy. Rhinelander's Parker Retzloff scored his fourth top 10 finish of the season by finishing 10th. On Saturday, Ross Chastain won his very first Cup Series pole position. On Sunday, Chastain led a race-high 99 of 300 laps before he popped out of the roof hatch at his Trackhouse Chevy on the front stretch following his victory burnout. The Watermelon Man won. Martin Truex ran second and stated he only lost the lead. When he lost the lead, he didn't have quite enough to challenge. He needed clean air out front. Denny Hamlin finished third. Then a trio of Hendrick Motorsports Chevys. Chase Elliott ran fourth, followed by Kyle Larson and William Byron. Eric Jones ran a solid seventh for Legacy Motor Club. Slinger, Wisconsin resident Josh Blicky finished 3 laps down and 34th in the number 78 Ziegler Auto Group Chevy that he'll be racing this weekend on the streets of Chicago. That's where they're headed this weekend. They're being prepared right now for the Cup and Xfinity Series race, racing in downtown Chicago around the Big Fountain by Grant Park. NASCAR's put on a lot of events, but they've never done a street course on their own. They put in millions of dollars and a whole lot of effort into this one and their inaugural street race. The entry list for the Grant Park 220 Cup race on Sunday includes Josh Bilicki, Supercars champion and reigning Bathurst 1000 winner Shane Van Gisbergen in the Project 91. Rick Ware Racing teammates, get this lineup: Formula One champ Jenson Button and 5-time Rolex 24 champion Andy Lally. I'd like to be hanging out with those guys for a while and talk some stories. That'd be kind of fun. In the Xfinity Series race on Saturday, non-regulars will be battling for positions to get in the show because 5 drivers are going to miss the race. More cars entered than allowed in the race itself. Non-regulars entered of note are Justin Marks, the team owner of Trackhouse Racing, loves road racing. Miguel Paludo from Brazil. He's going to be racing a team car to Justin Allgaier with Brandt sponsorship. He still races in Brazil, and there's a huge growing business for Brandt Professional Agriculture in Brazil, so he's part of that. Coming back to run the 88. Sage Karam, former IndyCar driver, and Westby, Wisconsin's Dexter Bean are also entered in the Xfinity Series race on Saturday. It's being presented as a sports and music spectacle with all of the Cup drivers appearing on Saturday with the band The Chainsmokers. It's a NASCAR night at the Cubs game tomorrow night with a detailed weekend events guide. I looked it up on Facebook. I've been following the street course all season. Go to search NASCAR Chicago, all one word, NASCAR Chicago on Facebook. They had a really cool event guide of all the cool things going on if you're heading that way. And if you're going to Chicago, maybe not this weekend, but another time, there's a lot of cool tourist stops and restaurants they have listed in their event guide. So it's kind of cool to check that and thumb through it. Again, search NASCAR Chicago, all one word, on Facebook. We end our NASCAR news with some sad news. Jimmy Johnson was going to race at Chicago's street course this weekend. Last evening at 9 o'clock in Muskogee, Oklahoma, there was a call made on 911 into the dispatch. There was a shooting. When the police arrived, Jimmy Johnson's father-in-law, mother-in-law, and his 11-year-old nephew were all found dead in their home. So unfortunate for their family. Really feels bad for Chandra's parents and her nephew and Jimmy Johnson, of course. They are not going to race this weekend, but that's the latest. I was looking for factual information all day today. That is the facts. We don't know how it happened. There's a lot of speculation, but I will tell you that they passed away, and our thoughts are with Jimmy Johnson and his family as they seek just kind of leave us be, let us go through that. And they did a whole lot in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Jimmy Johnson's foundation every year gave hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, to schools in her hometown, his wife's hometown of Muskogee, Oklahoma, as well as his hometown near San Diego. So our thoughts are with them. And that'll conclude our NASCAR report. We're back with a whole bunch of racing. Short tracks, nationwide, you got it. We got it all covered for you here. We're talking to drivers that are in mid-season form when we come back on the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide. Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000, American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack-leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000, American Foundation.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Welcome back, everybody. Again, thanks for joining us on this evening of racing stuff, news, noise, happenings. Love it. I love the idea. We're almost into July, and things are cooking. We're talking to some really deserving racers tonight. If you want to be a part of our show in the future, by all means, drop us a note. Go to our website, racingroundupshow.com, or give us an email at racingroundup@gmail.com. I'd love to talk to you about getting on the program. We go through September on Tuesday nights, except for next week, July 4th. Enjoy your holiday with family and friends. Spend all your money at the racetrack. Set your DVRs and have some fun celebrating our nation's independence. Hey, Matt Rapina is the guy you want to look to when you want to buy or sell a home or commercial property. He works with Matt Rapina, Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. He can work with you on any deal. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. Visit mattrapina.com. mattrapina.com. We have giveaways tonight, thanks to our friends at Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup. We have bottles of syrup to give out tonight, hats from Wabam and other great supporters of racing, T-shirts from our guest tonight, Sean Urick and Sparky Motorsports. Thanks, guys, for bringing the shirts down. We also have this sprint car and other die-cast from Greenfield Gallery Sales on Facebook. Thank you, Ralph and the gang, for their involvement with a bunch of cool stuff we give out each and every show. Actually, I'll give you a heads up right now. Greenfield Gallery, we're doing a show with them. We're taking our entire show to the Greenfield Gallery Classic Car and Race Car Show on Tuesday night, July 18th. That's only a couple weeks from now. We'll be at the historic Heaven City property, McWanago. In 3 weeks' time, we're taking our show there. So join us. The information's on our schedule page on our website, racingroundupshow.com. It's time for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. They bring it to you. They can take care of you as well, from camera and alarm systems for your home or business, program card access, gun safes. They can do a lot, including some lighting that could help you keep your things safe and secure. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online to bonafidesafe.com. They protect what you value. If you didn't see it on Saturday night, I heard it was nothing but an awesome show. 45 years of racing, and Dave Marg, who's been a sponsor and supporter of Luke Fenhouse, said best race he's ever seen at the Dells Raceway Park. It was the Dick Trickle 99 to Lyford 5 Super Late Model race Saturday night, Dells Raceway Park. Luke took the blame and tapped out, allowing Gabe Summers to keep his fourth place spot early on in the race, so they spun. Luke tapped out. Gabe got the spot back. Luke went to the tail. Fast forward to the last 12 laps of the Dick Trickle 99. Summers was leading by a decent margin over Jordan DeVoy. Fenhouse had the fastest car on the track. He closed and then passed on DeVoy for second with 8 laps to go. Fenhouse had 10 car lengths to make up. With 2 to go, Fenhouse was there. Fenhouse drove into the turn 1 under Summers. Summers hung tough on the outside, but it was Fenhouse who saw the white flag first and went on to win the race. Alex Hartwig won the Dell in the 602 Outlaw Late Models. We'll have more on that growing division later on in the program with our guest driver tonight, Larry Johnson, who brought his 602 Outlaw Late Model here to display here at Pauley's. This Saturday at DRP, it's the Tundra Series North American Cup dedicated to Carl Weidner and fireworks. Save money at advance sale tickets online at DellsRacewayPark.com. CK Contractors LLC.com brings us the CK Contractors Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints coverage and what's happening at Wilmot Raceway. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavation and grading, retention pond building, and more. The Macho Man, Brady Bacon, fought off the challenges of Emerson Axum Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway and the return of the USAC National Sprint Cars to Wilmot Raceway. Jimmy Sivia finally won a feature in the CK Contractors Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints on Saturday night, the former track champ. beat out Tim Cox and his co-champion teammate from a year ago, Clayton Rossman, to the finish line. Oak Creek Automotive sponsored Chris Carlson grabbed the checkers at the Wilmot Raceway, in the modified main event. This Saturday is a $30 car load and fireworks night at Wilmot. Check out WilmotRaceway.com. And as I talked about with David Gravel early in the show, July 8th, World of Outlaws coming to the Wilmot Raceway. They are coming in a big way to the Larry Hillard Memorial 40. That night is on Saturday, July 8th. That's an SLS Promotions event, but you can find out information about it at WilmotRaceway.com. The USAC Silver Crown race on Friday night at Wisconsin's fastest half mile, Madison International Speedway. Well, we had the guy on last week that won twice before, Cody Swanson. He was a guest on our show. Well, Cody went out and dominated on Friday night to win his first Silver Crown race of the season. Nice job, Cody and the team. For Doran Binks Racing, Zach Riddle edged Sean Shield to win his fourth NASCAR late model feature in 2023 at MIS before he went Sunday to Slinger and set fast time and nearly won that one. Ben Schmidt won the Cole Posse last lap 360 feature at Plymouth Dirt Track on Saturday night. Cole was a 360 sprint driver who passed away in March, tragically. Will Source won the Grand National feature. Tim Warner topped the B-Mods, and Austin Winkle won his first Dirt Legends feature at the Plymouth Dirt Track at the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds. Joe B. Miller won the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaws sprint car feature Saturday at Fairbury Speedway, Illinois. The Outlaws of the IRA headed to Plymouth this, hang on, I'm trying to read this quickly. Sorry, I'll slow down. The Outlaws of the IRA sprint cars come to Plymouth Dirt Track this Saturday night in the Scott Summerman Memorial Races, which also features the Plymouth 360 sprints and IRA Lightning sprints. It's a sprint cars sprintacular. You can find all the details at irasprints.com. Big show this Saturday at Plymouth Dirt Track. Switching over to where I was on Saturday, I was at Elko Speedway in Minnesota. Jesse Love outran William Sawalich in the field Saturday night in the ARCA Menard Series race live on FS2. Those two teenagers gave no quarter to each other. A lot of body banging, a lot of rubbing of the logos of the General Tire off the sidewall. Close racing. They got after it. They raced about as, they probably boogered about as much as I care to see in a race, but ultimately Jesse Love prevailed. They'll be racing for the win on Sunday, August 27th at the Milwaukee Mile in the Sprecher 150. Sawalich is expected to race that day in both the ARCA and NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races at the mile. Again, more info on that at MilwaukeeMileRacing.com. Sunday night at Slinger Super Speedway, Dean Strom and I got the chance to work on the track PA together. Dean was in the booth. I was running around in his golf cart, blowing out his golf cart gas, and had a ball. It was a lot of fun. Our show guest last week, Jesse Bernhagen, started 8th and raced to the lead on lap 13 of the 50-lap Pro Late Model feature to pick up his 5th feature at Slinger in 5 tries this season. Zach Prunty raced a really strong run to 2nd. Fast qualifier Zach Riddle started last and charged up to 3rd in an impressive drive. Said he ran out of time. He had a really good piece. Jesse Bernhagen and his dad were pretty excited to win another one. We talked about it after their victory deck interview about how they want that car to be right where it's supposed to be. Slinger setup, no changes. Come back, and I believe they're coming back this Sunday. Huge fireworks night at Slinger Super Speedway, along with the Super Lates and the Pro Lates and a whole cast of other divisions. So check that out, SlingerSuperSpeedway.com. Gates open at 5 p.m. The world's fastest quarter mile. The other divisions racing, Slinger Bs, Figure 8s, Modifieds, and Vintage Modifieds. The Slinger Nationals has expanded into a 3-day party, if you didn't know. Sunday night, July 9th, is the prelude to the Nationals with the Midwest Truck Series in action. That's this guy's next race, by the way. Our next guest is hanging out with me right now, Kevin Zelazinski. We'll talk to him in a second. $1,000 to win Slinger B Challenge. 602 Outlaw Late Models on Sunday night, July 9th. Sportsman in the High School Racing Association. Monday, July 10th, is a huge day. They got to practice. NASCAR Cup star Chase Elliott is coming to race at the Slinger National, not just to show up like he did in 2018 and couldn't race. He's racing. A car prepared by Ricky Turner. That's the stuff he was in when he won the Snowball Derby, when he won the All-American 400. That's the same team Chase has been racing with in Super Lates the last couple of months. NASCAR Hall of Famer Matt Kenseth, I'm sure, is going to be wanting some practice laps as well as he comes back to win another Slinger Nationals. That's on Monday. The kickoff party on Monday includes free grandstand admission and the qualifying draw in front of the fans at 5:30 p.m. Tuesday, July 11th, it's the 44th annual Cobblestone Hotels Slinger Nationals presented by Lynch Buick GMC West Bend. Pro Late Models are on the undercard. Drivers meeting at 3:30. Super Lates are at qualify at 4:30. And I think right around 5 o'clock, we're going to do our show. Yep, we're going to do it. We're going to hold our live DeAngelis Construction Road show at about 5 o'clock in the Fan Midway when qualify concludes. Right there at the Slinger Nationals on the Fan Midway. Thanks to Oak Creek Automotive and Keith's Marina for pitching in and helping us present that program. Join us for another road show right there in the Fan Midway at the front gate. A full schedule including Matt Kenseth meet and greet tickets and all the Slinger Nationals info can be found online at SlingerSuperspeedway.com. We talked about a lot of short track racing. There's more to chat about now. Let's bring in the driver of that number 38, the black and white version of the 38. He's sitting right next to me. Let's welcome in Kevin Zelazinski. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Jim. Thanks for having me.
I've got my, thanks to Greg Lapine, I've got my fancy card here. This truck looks awesome.
Isn't it? It's good looking, isn't it?
How much fun you been having this year in your second full season now in the Truck Series?
It's so much fun. I love it. 2 years, or I guess 2.5 years ago when I bought the truck from Kevin Canisi, I didn't really know what to expect.
Okay.
I was excited.
What'd you drive before that?
I've driven everything from pro late models in the JEGS CRA All-Stars Tour to NASCAR late models down at Hickory and Myrtle Beach. And right before I bought the truck, I was driving go-karts to save money so I can go racing. And I had my eyes on the Truck Series ever since I got out of late models. The model they have going with the cost caps and how affordable it is for everyone to race and travel and still have a whole lot of fun. That was my goal.
And you got a mission accomplished. You did a great season last year. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you how well you did?
It really did. It was my first year as an owner driver. So this is my truck. It sits in my garage.
Yeah.
Me and my dad work on it. And to have the speed we did and the consistency and the finishes we did, it was above all our expectations. We always wanted to win Rookie of the Year. That was our goal, right? And we didn't think that we would have podiums and top fives and top tens like we did. So it's kind of raised the bar for our expectations a little bit more.
9 more races yet on the schedule this year, but I will remind you, your finishes this year, man, strong. 9th at Milwaukee, 5th at Golden Sands, 8th at State Park, 12th at Madison in the season opener. You and your dad were pretty much looking out over your truck bed when I walked out in the parking lot to chat with you and said, there it was. That was our Daytona 500 right there, the Milwaukee Mile. How much fun is that to race on the mile in a Midwest Truck Series truck?
It is. It's like Daytona for us in a ton of different ways. I mean, obviously it's the biggest track we go to, but the draft there makes such a difference. And so you kind of race these like a super speedway there. It's unlike anything we do, and I love it. I love the speed. I love how deep you have to drive into the corner and just fully commit and use the air with these trucks to gain places. And we had a fast truck. It's another part of learning, new to doing this myself. Qualified second, but unfortunately had to start at the rear because we were a little light over the scales after qualifying.
Okay.
Just something that you live and learn, but the speed is there. We're going to get one of these wins soon.
Kevin Zilzinski's racing in the Midwest Truck Series. Their website is MidwestTruckSeries.com. Looking at your next couple races, we have Sunday night, July 9th, Slinger Prelude to the Nationals. Saturday night, July 22nd at Jefferson. Tuesday night, August 1st, Dixieland Delight presented by Ken Sports. And you have 2 more races at Dells Raceway Park yet, and then 9 races to come. Yeah. This is a pretty intense schedule.
It's going to get real busy real quick here. But fortunately, like looking at that schedule, we have a lot of good racetracks we're going to. And now we're going to them for second, third, fourth times, even some of them. So I'm extremely excited. Slinger is going to be so much fun.
What did you learn last year? Did you run Slinger before last year in anything?
I have never even seen the track before.
All right.
Before last year.
Okay.
So, and I drank through a fire hose at the June race because we had back-to-back races there.
Yeah.
So drank through a fire hose at that race, but came back and finished 4th there in the national weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. The Prelude weekend, like you said, moving it to a 3-day event, I think that's going to be awesome for fans and for everyone to enjoy. So. And
it's going to be on Sunday night. That's when fans are traditionally going to the Nationals. They have camping going on already. That's going to be a great way to tune up. I mean, there's guys that are sitting in the stands like, hey, looks like Chase Elliott got here in time to hang out with us tonight and watch me race. That's kind of neat that you have that whole festival starting with a big night of racing on Sunday night.
Exactly. It's a kickoff to an awesome week.
And you don't have to take 3 days off of work for you, right? If you wanted to go back Tuesday night, you could go watch.
Yes.
Yeah,
I will take it. It was because, last year we wanted to go up Monday to test. And so, it was awesome to be a part of the Nationals day. But we get to kick off the fun.
We plan on going to Wisconsin International Raceway for another big one. It's an ASA Stars National Tour as well as the ASA Midwest Tour. Midwest Truck Series is part of that again, of the Dixieland Delight. I think last year was a 38-lapper. That seems like that's a pretty long, grueling race for you guys when you race there on a Tuesday night, August 1st, with the stars of the super late model world.
Yeah, and that one's different because we don't have a practice day or a lot of practice that day, so it goes quick, and again we had to learn fast. But that place is cool too. I love that's the great part about the Midwest Truck Series is you get to go to all these awesome racetracks.
Yep.
And they're all great. They're all fun and they're all different. WIR is so unique in itself, but I'm excited to be back there and accompany the Stars Tour.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I'll be there for that. I think we're going to make that news right now too. We're going to be at the front gate again at the Wisconsin National Raceway. I think it's our 4th straight Tuesday night live show at the front gate, hanging out with fans. And you can join us there. We'll be hanging out with you. And thanks to the Lake Park Pub in Menasha, we're going to have some fun with another D'Angelo's Construction Roadshow on August 1st. A lot between now and then. You keep saying we. You mentioned your dad. Who's all part of the we of getting this number 38 truck going?
There's so many people that I couldn't do this without. I mean, so first and foremost, my wife, Katie, she the race truck sits next to her car in the garage. So as long as she has a spot to park in the garage, we're all good.
Does that sound familiar to anybody else in here? Anyone watching?
So, but she's been a huge supporter of mine. She's in it 100%. So without her support, I couldn't do it. My mom and dad, I don't think they've missed a race. Even when I was traveling down to North Carolina and South Carolina to race, they've always been there. My dad works on the truck with me countless hours to get this ready. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Lohr's Racing Services, Mike Lohr's, they help out a ton. Mike, Phil, Lou, they come to the track with me, help me out. I honestly couldn't do it without them. My sponsors, Nick and Eddie Construction, they help me out so much, and we have an amazing looking truck because of it. Holman, A&A Steel Fabrication Inc., and last but not least, Bonafide Security Solutions. So I'm excited to be part of the Bonafide team for this year, and it's cool to have that community together.
Looking forward to having a Team Bonafide night. I don't know if you can swing it in your schedule, but it'll be on Tuesday night, August 15th, live at Danny Lynch's in West Dallas on the corner of Lincoln and Highway 100. That's going to be a big night, too. I know Mike and the gang at Bonafide, they have a process, man. If you're on Team Bonafide, you proved it that you belong there, and then you get to network with everybody else. It's kind of a cool system that's going on right now.
It is. It's so much more than the sponsorship, right? It's the, like you said, it's the community and the networking that you get within the entire team. So I will be there. I will be there the 15th.
Cool.
So.
We'll see you then.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to mention or thank? Because there's a lot that goes on to make sure you can go to these 18 races throughout the season.
Yeah. So on top of my main partners, my main sponsors, I also have my Club 38, kind of a fan club that a lot of my family and friends are part of. So my Aunt Betty, Liz, and Keith, the Krisman family, Marty Bobin, the Eisenstadt family, and AP Photography. Without you guys as well, I wouldn't be at the track doing what I get to do.
Where can we find you on social to follow along? I know MidwestTruckSeries.com has great information on the drivers, pictures, stats. Drew does a great job. I mean, you want to go deep into stats. How many trucks he passed in a heat race? We got that stat.
That's awesome.
Where's your social stuff?
So I'm on primarily on Facebook at KMZ Motorsports.
Okay.
That's where I do most of my social media.
That's really cool, and I'm really happy for you that having this success and having the fun and having a truck you can race and not have to work on every week. I mean, yes, you're maintaining, but I mean, I've seen you race. It's been fun to see you kind of just mix it up and get your nose in there and know what you got, and it's all, as you mentioned, that the tire savings.
Yeah.
That's got to be a huge factor in how you go approach a given race and what new tire do you get per race night.
That was part of last year's learning curve. I had never run a tire program like that before, where you have to manage your tire bank and manage your tires to make them last for multiple races. So, but we're not buying 4 or 2 sets of tires each weekend. We're buying 1 tire. It's awesome.
Next race, Sunday night, July 9th, the prelude to the Nationals at Slinger Super Speedway with the Midwest Truck Series. Let's give a hand to Kevin Zielazinski. Kevin, thanks for coming down with the truck and your dad and having fun and talking about the people that help you.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.
Thanks a lot for coming down. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we have Larry Johnson hanging out with us. We also have another driver hanging out back there, middle of the table, Sean York, who's got his sportsman here. He also races American Super Cups. Lots going on here tonight at Polly's Pub and Eatery. Come on down and join the racing crowd. We have some great giveaways after the show as well. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club Points Racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and racing schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
That's the voice of Dean Strom. He'll be back with us on July 11th at the Slinger Nationals broadcast. We're doing our live road show. The Angeles Construction Road Show will be right out front of the Slinger Nationals on Tuesday night, July 11th. We're taking next week off to enjoy the 4th of July holiday with you. And we're back at Slinger on the 11th. On the 18th of July, we'll be at Greenfield Gallery for the at Heaven City property, Mukwonago. July 25th, back here at Pauley's. August 1st, we're at Kaukauna, Wisconsin International Raceway. On that Tuesday night for that big show, the ASA Stars, ASA Midwest Tour are racing there. This portion of the show is brought to you by BMRE Electric Karts at E-Bikes in Random Lake. Check out the new Icon e-bikes that go as far as 25 miles between charges and up to 25 miles per hour in speed. Brad Miller is Wisconsin's only Icon dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options available right now on their Facebook page, BMRE Electric Karts Company. It's time to bring in one driver that has been chosen as the Anderson's Maple Syrup Short Track Spotlight Driver of the Week. It's Anderson's Maple Syrup and their wonderful involvement in racing. Includes sponsorships of Wisconsin racers Bill Baylog and Jason Gross. Baylog made the show in the Huset's High Limit Nationals. Unfortunately, didn't. He spun at one point. But, hey, making that show with all those cars there after 4 nights of racing, congrats to Bill on making the A. Try it in your coffee or tea. Anderson's is wonderful on vanilla ice cream as well, and on oatmeal and on eggs and on everything I put it on. It's really good. Take it with you with Pure Fuel as well. Maple energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer. AndersonsMapleSyrup.com is their website. They've been around since 1928 in Cumberland, Wisconsin. This week's Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Spotlight Driver has come from Wimberley, Texas to race in Wisconsin. Rusty Wallace raced in Wisconsin to learn how to get things done with Dick Trickle. Mike Miller moved here from Minnesota to Wisconsin, then to Georgia, back to Wisconsin. This guy named Mark Martin moves from Batesville, Arkansas twice to race here in Wisconsin and learn what's going on. Now under the tutelage in the area of Casey Johnson, three-time ASA Midwest Tour champion, we're bringing our next guest for the first time on the Racing Roundup Show, hopefully not the last. Let's bring in from Wimberley, Texas, Barrett Polimas. Barrett, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
I'm glad you got here early. What'd you have for dinner?
I had myself a plain cheese pizza.
Yeah.
It's kind of my specialty when it comes to pizza.
And how did Polly stack up? If you travel the world now, pretty good, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still getting used to like the wood-fired pizza. Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, I really like the pizza here at Polly's as well. And Tuesdays is taco night. There's Taco Tuesdays, and there's all sorts of specials on various things. So it's great food all the time. But I'm glad you got a chance to eat before we catch you on the show. You got an interesting situation here. You said, hey, this guy named Grant Thompson, was he out of Texas?
He's from Alabama.
Alabama. Young guy, and all of a sudden he pops up and he's running the Tundra Series with Casey Johnson. I'm like, I've seen this kid race a pro truck. He's really good. And I think that's where you kind of got the idea that maybe that's something I want to try. How did that all come together where you came to Wisconsin to race with Casey Johnson?
Well, I mean, I knew Grant was running up there, and I didn't know who he was running with, but it all started. My mom went to high school with a guy who was good friends with Casey, and he's the guy who actually got Grant Thompson in that seat.
Okay.
And so my mom got in touch with him because we were looking to kind of race other places, other cars, other tracks, and all that stuff. Move on up the ladder. And so they got to talking, and then he said that he'll talk to Casey about putting me in the seat for the Tundra Series last year, and then that's what we did, and we liked it a lot. And I got so much better just from those 6 races was huge. And so we talked with Casey some, and we said we're going to come back again and run the full Midwest Tour Series this year. And then we've added quite a few other different little dates on too as we going along. It's pretty cool. It's like I never know what I'm gonna race until the week of the race. Sometimes it seems
really,
like our schedule. Really, there's only a few weekends that we know for sure that we're gonna race, and then sometimes I'll be at the shop on Tuesday after a race weekend and say like, hey, we're running this weekend. Oh, okay, let's go do it. So it's been fun.
So if you've not seen the black 79 of Barrett Polimas on the racetrack yet, don't say the H like I just did. Barrett Polimas. I got that right for the streams and such. Or say the H. What would you prefer?
Either or.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just know you got faster every time I've seen you on the racetrack. Whether it be the first time I saw you at Slinger or even at Milwaukee when I checked in on Saturday for the Sunday race. You're like, hey, I got to figure out turn 2. Got to figure this out. And then you got Casey Johnson and his dad wrenching on it. That's kind of a really cool place to be right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a very, very beneficial environment for me, I'd say, because every single track up here is so tough, and every single one has its own like little quirk to it that you got to figure out. And everyone up here has already figured those out, and I've never run on these tracks before. But so I've had to like figure it out as I go along. So it really helps to have people like Casey in my corner that are able to help me out and figure that out, because it's I don't think I'd be doing near as good as I am. Even then, I mean, it's still touch and go. But I mean, I'd definitely be drowning if it wasn't for Casey and them. So they've definitely helped me out a lot.
Barrett, what did you race before you get in the thought that you wanted to hang out with the Wisconsin guys and race here?
I raced out in California. I raced the Junior Late Model Series in Madera, and we ran a few Pro Late Model races too. It was weird because we were never originally supposed to come up here in the first place.
Oh, okay.
It was always going to be out there, but I'm happy now that we actually did come out up here instead, because I mean, the racing is nuts. Like it's hard to explain. It's just different than anywhere else I've ever been.
Yeah, I've had a chance to do some West Coast races, specifically at Irwindale. I've not been to Kern yet. I still call it the New Mesa, but I've been to Mesa Marin. I've been to a lot of places where I know there's 5 guys that can win. I know one of those 5 guys is probably going to be the guy to watch. Do you find that here in Wisconsin? I don't think we do. I think it's deeper.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 5 guys out west, it's 10 guys up here, at the very least.
Yep.
Like, everyone has a shot to win at any given week, at any given time. So, I mean, and they all do. I mean, obviously, there's still a few of them that rise above everyone else, like Majeski and Casey Johnson, and, those guys that are just different.
Yeah.
And you can tell, but I mean, I'm not trying to trash on anyone else.
No, they won the majority of the races.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like to think up here that there's not a single bad driver up here.
Yep.
Everyone is just so good, and they're hard to beat.
And what have you find that you are working best with? I know Casey's really smart when it comes to suspension setups. What do you think you're adding and contributing to the team, whether it be your feedback or, hey, now I know what I want to feel in the car. I'm not just telling them what I need to be changed. Let's start here. Let's do it this setup, and I think that's where I'm closer to where I want to start in a setup.
Well, I mean, Casey already brings a really good starting setup to roll out anyways, so it's kind of hard to adjust on that any much at all.
Yep.
But I think I drive a little bit different than Casey does, so that would be the only thing that I could think of. I mean, everything else, I've been getting, the information given to me. I'm not giving very much information to them.
Yep.
Aside from like when I hop out of the car and say it's doing this, this, and this. What do we got to do to get it better? Other than that, I mean, I just kind of take it all in, or try to at least.
Do you plan on continuing racing? You mentioned your schedule can change, but right now, do you plan on racing the full ASA Midwest Tour schedule?
I do, yeah. That's like going to be our main series.
Okay.
I think so. I'm committed to that tour for the rest of the year.
What's up this weekend? You got a couple of choices.
Yeah, we're gonna have a doubleheader this weekend. I'm going down to a local show at Grundy. I think it's a local show. Anyway.
Okay.
And we're gonna run our Van Doren car there to get some practice for the tour race next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. And then the very next day, I'm racing the Tundra race at the Dalles on Saturday. So
2 different cars. You run the same one for both.
There'll be 2 different cars. So the Van Doren car is obviously kept up with Butch and Johnny Van Doren.
Yep.
We own that one, and then I'm running the Tundra car or Tundra race with Casey's car, and I'll be in that one instead.
Wow, a lot going on.
A lot going on.
So you have some say, like, I'd like to do these races, or are you saying let's add more races and they find them for you?
I mean, I could say I want to do these races, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how much we can actually afford to do. Because while we are racing a lot, it's not like we can race just freely. It's not like we can say, "Oh, let's go run Nashville one weekend." It's like we gotta think about it and see, like, okay, would it be worth it to run this race? And if we do run this race, then we're probably gonna have to drop a different one.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna be like, there's only going to be like a set number of races, and then some may get added, and the budget may change. Sometimes that does happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't. So, like I said, I mean, I'm just kind of taking it as it comes, 1 week at a time, 1 race at a time. And
so you're traveling back and forth to Texas?
No, I moved up here about 3 weeks ago. I'm up here. I'm up here by myself. I'll probably be up here through end of October at least. And I might head back home to Texas, but yeah, I'm moving up here because it just makes it easier on us. It cuts down costs for because plane tickets are super expensive. Yeah. Not to mention the cost of hotels and all that stuff. So it'd be easier for me to just stay up here than fly back and forth every single weekend. You'll go home for 3 days and then turn right back around. It just doesn't make much sense to do that. So I moved up here 3 weeks ago, and the plan is to stay here for a while.
All right. Sounds great. Who is involved with your team? I know that the car, the number 79, that's your number, I'm guessing? Because Casey probably would say, just keep the 5 on it. That's fine. Because Casey hasn't been driving this year. He last September got involved in an incident. It just doesn't feel right yet in the car. And, man, that's benefit big time for you. Tell us more about the people involved in your car and who you all got for supporting you this year.
Yeah, obviously Casey is a huge part in that. I mean, he knows everything, basically. So, I mean, it's nice to have that feed into me. But he brings together a bunch of really, really good people to the track. His dad, Jeff Johnson, helps out a ton. He's under the car, and he really knows how to wrench on a thing. And we have a bunch of different crew combos every single week.
Okay.
It seems. We have 2 Craigs. We have a tire Craig. We have a spotter Craig. Our tire guy is Craig Phillips. Our spotter, whenever we don't have our usual one for the tour, at least, is Craig, and I want to say his last name is Kowalski.
That's pretty impressive because usually you guys there's Skeeter over here, and there's Johnny, there's Booger, and then they don't know their last name. So I'm glad you got the Kowalski out. That's very impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't asked him directly. I've seen how it's spelled, and I heard it tossed around once or twice that it might be Kowalski. So I'm just gonna roll with Kowalski.
There you go.
For now.
There you go.
And save myself the embarrassment of butchering it in front of everyone. So we have our 2 Craigs. I still don't know some people's last names. I know we have a tire guy that helps us out. Sometimes his name's Andrew.
Okay.
I don't know his last name yet. But our main spotter for the tour, we met in Irwindale. There's a story behind that if we have time for it a little later. His name's Josh Nelms. I'm sure a bunch of people watching have heard.
So they know the name for sure. Yeah.
Yep. He's a great guy, and he's a good help because he brings a lot of knowledge to the table too.
As another driver to give you that feedback.
Exactly.
Like, hey, watch this. Hey, they oiled down in the last race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
Another great driver at that. And then that's just on the Casey Johnson car side of things. Last year, I know we had Jeremy Miller working on the car too. I haven't seen him this year.
He's retired again, so I don't know when he's going to show up. Probably a week or so.
Yeah, he'll
Jeremy's
come out of
retired
retirement
like 7 times
eventually,
already. I think,
yeah.
so
From what I
might be tomorrow. He might be at the shop already.
Yeah, we'll see. And then we're helping out with our Van Doren. If I forget anyone, I'm sorry. There's a bunch of different people that I'm still getting used to. And I know on our Van Doren car, Butch and Johnny Van Doren, obviously, and then Jimmy Tucker is a big part of that, and then Josh comes over and helps with that too. And we had 2 other guys help us out at Owasso when we ran at Owasso the other weekend. Their names are Kyle and John, and then Jimmy's mom, Laura, was also a really good help as well.
Cool. As far as sponsors go, who's helping with that coverage?
I have one. I'm wearing their hat right now. It's Turtle Cove Apparel Company. They have a bunch of like beachwear, which really isn't the greatest up here. I mean,
Texas
there's a lake.
There's a Gulf in Texas.
So they have a bunch of really comfy clothes. It's not just beachwear. They have a bunch of really comfy clothing as well. What I wear under my fire suit is like a compression fit shirt, and so when I take it off, I'm all sweaty, but it instantly cools me down.
Nice.
And it's like I wasn't even in the car in the first place.
That's a good point. If your drivers announce the heat of summer, look it up. Are they online?
They are online. Yeah, you can look them up at turtlecoveus.com, I think. And I have a code. I'm not sure if it's working yet or not. I'm not sure.
We'll have to follow you on social to find out when you can finally blast that out there. Where can we find you on social, Barrett Polimas?
I have an Instagram and a Facebook account. You can find me on Instagram at bpolimus79. That's all lowercase BPOLHEMUS 79. And on Facebook at Barrett Polimus Racing.
Cool. It's really fun to get to talk to you here. I just check in with you because I'm doing these Midwest Tour races or the Stars races, and it's just fun to see the progression. I really was happy to see you smiling after getting out of the car at Milwaukee. Like, I'm getting a handle on this place. This is really cool. What was the best part about Milwaukee and racing there for that Father's Day 100?
Milwaukee, it's so fast. Like, if someone ever tells you to grow a pair, you go run up Milwaukee, you go back to them, and then hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Because you got to really get up on it at Milwaukee. It's different, and it's a good different. I love it. Like, once I got over that fear factor driving into the corners so far, that I'm not going to wreck the car. I'm just going to miss it just a little bit if I drive it in too deep. Once I got over that and got in the race and got in a rhythm, it was probably the most fun I've ever had in a race car.
Cool.
Even if it was, just kind of riding behind people, the speed was the best part about it. It was just like, it was cool because I grew up watching NASCAR on TV, and it felt like that because, it was the long throttle time, and then I was off the throttle for a while, and I hear the engine rev down and then rev back up again. It was just a super cool experience.
Great to have you on our show and sharing those comments and experiences with us. It's been fun. Hope you're on the show again before the year's out. If you set fast time, you have to be on our show at Kaukauna. If you're a fast qualifier, that's a mandatory thing.
Really?
We're going to drag you out of the car. Forget the scales. We're bringing you up to the front gate. We're getting you on the show, and then Casey can worry about where's my driver.
I just drive straight to the scales.
All right, Sanford, Barrett Pulimas, thank you, Barrett, for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Really
Really
appreciate it. And make sure you sign our Bob Trado sign right on our backdrop there. We got all these famous drivers on our show. We're having 2 more famous drivers on this program yet to come. Larry Johnson's hanging out with us with the 602L LA models, and a busy young man, Sean Urick, when he's not turning eggs at the Sunny Side Up Cafe. He's racing 2 different cars and trucks over the course of the season. We'll find out what else he's been up to yet here on the show. Come on right back with us. We're live at Paulie's Pub and Eatery.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Volansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln and West Dallas.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net. Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to Paulie's on this Tuesday evening, hanging out with the Racers crowd. We got some giveaways after the program as well. This portion of the show is brought to you by Allied Resource Recovery. Turn your recyclable metals into cash today at ARR West Dallas Recycling. That's at 80th and Burnham. And in Waukesha, ARR Waukesha Recycling, located at 1001 Tesh Court. They're online. Find their addresses there and get your metal into cash. It's that easy. Go to AlliedResourceRecovery.com. The earth-shaking, ground-pounding 900 horsepower Thunder of the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints storms into Plymouth this Saturday night for the Scott Semmelman Memorial. Joining the IRA Outlaws will be 360s and the IRA Lightning Sprints in a 3-division all-sprint car Sprintacular. The Scott Semmelman Memorial is this Saturday night at Sheboygan County Fair Park's Plymouth Dirt Track. Visit IRAsprints.com for details. We talked about our coming schedule. We're taking next week off. On 2 weeks' time, we're at the Slinger Nationals front gate, thanks to our friends at Oak Creek Automotive and Keith Smarina, and it's another DeAngelo's Construction Road Show. The week after that, we're on the road on July 18th. I'm getting ahead of myself. July 18th, we'll be live at Greenfield Gallery's Car Show in Mugwanago at Heaven City. All information's on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We've had this next guest on before. He's a busy guy. He's winning races this year. He's a champion in the American Super Cups. Glad to see him back here playing now in the sportsman world as well as winning in Super Cups in 2023. Let's welcome back Sean Urick to the show. Sean, thanks for coming back on.
Thank you for having me.
It's really cool to see what you're doing this year. That's a new adventure here and a proven product of going to American Super Cup racing again, winning there, and now taking on the task of learning how sportsman racing goes.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to have all of us learn as a crew. Again, it's completely different compared to how we set up. We've never really set up a race car before. I mean, even last year in trucks, we were still learning setup, and this is really good for us to learn setup this year in sportsman.
Your American Super Cup car looks pretty much the same as it was when you won the championship a couple years back. Have you guys done a lot of changes to that car?
We haven't touched that car since 2020.
Okay.
It has been the same setup since then. The only thing we adjust is the pressures, and my dad cleans the carb and the clutch each week and does daily maintenance or weekly maintenance.
So what made you think I want to go to Jefferson Speedway and run a sportsman? Because those guys have been doing this for a long time, and you got some really good guys you get to race with on a Saturday night there.
We felt like as a family, and for us, we just didn't have the resources and time to be competitive in the truck series.
Gotcha.
Because it was a traveling division.
Yeah.
Didn't have time to make it all the races. And now we can be together as a family racing in sportsman. And also, we can learn setup because we have the resources to get the setup for the sportsman.
Mm-hmm.
And we feel like it's very competitive in sportsman. And everyone in sportsman is, again, always, there's rarely anyone who goes lap down in the sportsman division at Jefferson. And everyone is up there towards the front fighting for a win. And I felt like, all right, I can be competitive in this.
Yeah. And Sean Urick is 9th in points right now at Jefferson Speedway. The guys behind him in points, Jay Calbus and Jeff Steenbergen. Two guys that have got 25 years between them racing at this level or different kinds of cars, dirt, asphalt, doesn't matter. Jay Calbus, I want to say in 2010 or so, was running a traveling series with a sportsman-based car. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge in these guys, and you're right there with them. That's got to be encouraging for you.
Yeah, I feel like, the age difference between me and the second youngest driver is Nick Bruley, who's 30, and I'm 15, so I'm half the age of Nick Bruley.
Yeah.
And he and I are fighting for Rookie of the Year this year.
So when he throws movie quotes at you, you're like, I didn't see that movie. No.
Yeah,
that was before the Ninja Turtles. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But it's got to be fun, though. You're getting involved. How are they accepting you? Because there's a lot of guys there that have been racing every Saturday at Jefferson.
They're actually very accepting of me. This is thanks to Titus, mainly. He's kind of introduced us to these guys. He's taught us what to do around these other guys. Just how everyone races.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah.
Is he new to the cast of characters that you hang out with this year?
Yes, he was who we traded the truck for with.
Okay.
So he currently owns the 90 truck that sells in races. But now he's been helping us crew wise. He's given us setup tips, all of that. Same with Miguel. He's given us parts to help us out. He's given us tips just like Titus does. But really, Titus has been the biggest help this season out of anyone.
Where do you think you as a driver have learned with the sportsman now, heavier car, short track, thank goodness the same track, so that's learning you would hope to gain, but where do you think you've learned the most now, splitting your time between the two cars?
To be honest, I've learned the most about the size of the car because, again, the difference between a Super Cup car and a sportsman car, you're sitting in the middle of a Super Cup car.
Yep.
In a sportsman, you're sitting on the left side. So I'm a lot more comfortable making my passes on the outside at the moment because I know I am the left side, and the right and on inside it's all right, I'm nervous that I'm going to drift up and hit someone, but I feel like I'm getting used to that now, getting used to having that right side rather than just having both sides equal.
Yeah.
And that was one of those things in the truck where it's I don't know that yet. And right now in the sportsman, I feel really comfortable driving it, and I feel like I can make passes a lot easier than before.
So how does your schedule break out? I mean, that's a common question because you guys are racing two completely different cars. You're racing at Jefferson Speedway. Is that every Saturday, or are you splitting time between the American Super Cup schedule? What's been the the casting priority of where you race on a given weekend?
So right now we're going for Jefferson Speedway Rookie of the Year and the championship. The Super Cup car we just kind of race on weeks that we don't have to race a sportsman, because it's not really it's kind of been our priority for the past 2 years. I could go for a third championship,
but you've done pretty well when you have shown up.
Done pretty well.
They know you're still there, right?
Yeah, they know I'm still there. I've won 2 out of the 3 races I've run this year in the Super Cup.
All right.
And I've not finished outside the top 5 since August of 2021. So I've gotten used to that car. And again, that's huge thanks to my dad for getting that thing set up in 2020 when he did. And we haven't changed it since then.
Proven product, and you got to keep it square, because once you ding those cars, no matter the size or shape, I know they don't race the same.
Yeah, we have not. I've never spun out that car ever alone. I've never self-spun. The only ever crash I was in was in 2019, and that was not my fault. So there's only been. You
get some looks over here.
Okay. I was used as a wall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But
I know your limit now. I know where the limit is. It's the wall. Sure.
Yeah. So then that was the only time I've ever spun out in that car in the 5 years I've raced it now.
Okay.
So really made focus this year, sportsman, and we're going to be running at Jefferson every Saturday that the sportsmen are there.
Yep.
We'll be making an appearance at the Dells on the Midwest Championship weekend.
That's in September.
Yes.
Yep.
And Oktoberfest, we're still up in the air, but we're debating on running that right now.
That's pretty cool. That's a lot of racing. So the Super Cup series, the Super Cup schedule is really kind of dependent on if you have time. It's not going to conflict with your Jefferson commitments.
Yeah, that's really what the plan is this year in Super Cups.
Okay, who's all here into the crowd tonight? Who'd you bring with you?
So my dad is here. We got my grandpa. We got my crew guy Jason. We've got my mom. We've got my grandma. We got Ray. We got Doug.
Yeah, cool. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. Some people are going to make out tonight. Titus Helgestad. He is, like I've said, huge help to me this season. He's coached me so much. Without him, I don't think I would be doing as well as I thought I would be.
Okay.
Because he's told me lines at Jefferson, which I've carried on to other tracks, like Rockford in the Super Cup. He just taught me how to drive the sportsman at Jefferson, which I realized, all right, I can use this information in the Super Cup too.
Cool. How about sponsors? Who do you got riding with you on both cars this year?
I've got Sunny Side Up Cafe, New Berlin, Wisconsin. Really good breakfast.
Delicious. I took my wife there on Mother's Day last year.
Yes.
Was not disappointed. Really good. I should go back probably more often than that.
They have
great
Friday,
food.
They have Friday fish fries too.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
They have fish tacos.
All right.
One of my favorite dishes there. Yeah. So there's school service, Accurate Stamp, Automatic Entrances of Wisconsin, Jolly Good Soda, Sign Design Co. I think I got them all. Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool. You got to mention that's here, and you mentioned the guys that are not here. Where are you racing this weekend?
I'm racing at Jefferson Speedway on Saturday.
All right.
And we'll be off for a week after that. And, well, we're planning on, hopefully after that, our car will be a lot quicker because we've got our new engine going in.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So
that's pretty cool.
I am looking forward to that.
All the horsepower you can find to figure out. Where can we find you when we go racing, or where you're going racing next? Where can we keep track of you?
We can check our website, SeanYorkRacing.com or SparkyMotorsports.org. Both of them lead to the same website.
SparkyMotorsports.org, and the other one, SeanYork.com?
SeanYorkRacing.com.
Racing.com, okay.
Cool. Sean York Racing on Facebook or Sparky Motorsports on Facebook. We've got a Twitter handle, Sparky Motorsports, Instagram, Sparky Motorsports, and on my Instagram, Sean York _97. And that's all of our handles.
That's a lot going on to keep track of as well. How about I say it for Sean York and the gang for coming to the car. Thanks for bringing the car tonight and the crew. And the shirts to give away after. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
15-year young Sean York. We're going to talk to another driver who's been 15 once in a while, maybe a couple times over. He still wants to be that 15-year-old driver going racing after a couple decades away. Larry Johnson's our next guest on the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show. Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's Escorted NASCAR Racing Tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. Hanging out with you on a Tuesday night. We're live again with you on July 11th. We're not going to do our show next Tuesday on July 4th, so by all means, enjoy the 4th safely, and we'll see you at the local short track soon over the weekend. July 11th, we're at the Slinger Nationals, thanks to Danvers Construction, Oak Creek Automotive, and Keith's Marina. July 18th, we're at Greenfield Gallery's Car Show. Bring your car show, classic car, race car. We'll welcome all on July 18th. That's a Tuesday night. We'll be in Mukwonago at the Heaven City property. That information's on our website as well. And on July 25th, we're right back here at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We're hanging out a lot. We love the fact that they do shuttles. Actually, they're doing a shuttle tonight to the John Mellencamp concert at the Riverside. They did it last night. They're doing every Brewer home game, all the Summerfest shuttles. They can do it right here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. I want to thank our friends at Schleifer Auto Body for bringing this portion of the show. They're in Lannon. They can handle anything you have when it comes to auto body repair for your daily driver or fleet of work trucks. Since 1974, 4 generations of racers have been getting it done the right way. They work with all insurance companies. Search Schleifer Auto Body on Facebook and get it done right by that family of racers. We have had our show since 1985 on the air. One of our first sponsors on that show was Art Ray's Mufflers and Pipes. And Art is here tonight. And Art, I've seen Art at the Brewers Spring Training Games in Phoenix, Arizona. I've seen Art at racetracks with buddies at Dells Raceway Park. Art is a continuing supporter of racing and a great guy to be around. And Art Ray's Mufflers and Pipes was a longtime sponsor of our show. I don't think Terry Jeffords' car ever sounded horribly. If it did, he'd take it right to Art and he'd fix it. If there's any sort of cracked manifold, no, it didn't matter. Terry take it right there. Matter of fact, we have a picture of an appearance of a show in 1989. It was at the Springdale Inn. It was Daryl Dobbs, myself, and Larry Johnson, our next guest on the show. Larry, welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
Thank you. Thanks
That
for
was
having me.
1989, and I had more hair then. You look the same. What's going on with this deal?
My hair's gray.
You're a little more frosty, but you look the same right now. And I'm guessing you're like, you know what? I feel the same. You're back racing again. How many
I
years
feel
did
the
you
same.
step away?
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
Wow. This car you have out front looks a lot like the car we have on the picture from
Yeah.
1989 that we rolled right into the Springdale Inn in front of our show.
Yeah,
man.
we duplicated it pretty close.
What made you get the itch to scratch it finally and say, I got to do this?
You never lose it. You always want to do it. And I'm healthy, and I said I'm going to try it. So we came back for a couple years.
Coming back, as a matter of fact, the last time I saw you, or the first time I saw you this year, I think was at Pensacola, Florida, right?
It was.
Were you hanging out in Florida for
I
the
was-
season?
Well, we were down there in Alabama, and
Okay.
we drove over for the AS race.
So you've
ASA
been
race.
wintering in Alabama then?
Yep, this
Nice.
year. Yep.
Was it the first time?
Yeah.
You gonna do it again?
I'm not sure about Alabama, but maybe Florida.
All right.
Yeah.
So the
But
race
no.
car, when did you get the race car in the shop? When did you start working on that
Oh.
as the season approached?
I bought that last October.
Okay.
Right after the Halloween show at the Dells.
Did you roll up with an open trailer saying, or
I
empty
had
trailer?
it-
I'm going to bring something back with me.
I had it in my shop a week later. so-
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So we had it all ready by the time we went to Alabama.
So Larry Johnson's racing a 602 Outlaw late model this year, primarily at Dells Raceway Park. There's other tracks that the series goes to under the UMA sanction. What's it been like getting back in the car? What's different? What's right back to where it felt?
It's taken a little bit. We've run 3 races, and it's getting easier. Just getting the setups, working on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Been
you
a
get,
while.
you get to race against guys that are 15 a couple times over as well, named Pete Moore, Larry Middleton now is doing it. Tom Carlson's
Yes,
pretty quick in those
and that's-
cars.
That's what convinced me. I raced against Pete Moore in the Dells years ago, and
Yeah.
I go, they're my age. I'm
Yeah.
going to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I can do it, so.
And then you got that Hartwig kid. He just shows up and he's like, boop.
Yeah.
He won on Saturday. How'd you do on Saturday at the Dells?
Not as good as I wanted to.
Okay.
Won a heat race a couple weeks ago, but we got messed up a little bit in one of the turns. And had to work on the front end. We never really got it right.
So if you've not seen the Outlaw Late Models race, I love the idea that they look so different. And you
Yeah.
get a chance to really take some liberties, I'd say. Other series, you got a template and everything else. These
Yeah.
cars, you can do some things to that body to kind of do what you want to be, whether it be to look cool or get some air where you want to put it.
They're different looking.
Yeah.
But the rules it's a nice rule package and affordable.
Yeah. So with the schedule you had, you mentioned 3 races this year. Where do you plan on racing? How far out do you plan to go racing?
I'm going to be at Swinger July 9th.
Okay.
So.
Yep, the modifieds and the vintage modifieds, which you would qualify for both, but we're not going there. You're racing the modified.
Yeah, so I'll be back there, and then we're going to run 5 races at the Dells.
Okay. That's a lot of racing, yeah.
That's all they have scheduled.
Okay.
So
that's the
Yeah.
UMA 602 late models
Right, the
points.
UMA 602,
Okay.
yeah.
So I didn't know if you had a choice or just said I want to try this and get used to it, or you committed already to the whole
I
year. That's
committed
really
to
cool.
going there.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest thing for you maintenance-wise? You ran a sportsman at Slinger for a lot of years.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
ran all over the Midwest a lot
And
of
I
years
ran
in a
a super
sportsman.
late, too.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
What's been the difference? The what you have to do now these days to get that car turning?
I'm just trying to learn setups and keep it consistent.
Gotcha.
Not touch too many things at one time, just.
Your agent here, Art Ray, is a constant. He was there 30 years ago, and he said, "I'm good for now."
That's right.
Who else is helping you with this effort
All
to get
right.
back in there and win some races?
I have several people to thank. First of all, my wife, who has allowed me to do this. And I'm going to put my
That's okay.
glasses on.
It's
I
all
got
right.
my cheat sheet. Dave, who was here, Dave Moldenhauer, his dad actually used to help Russ Peterson years ago.
Sure.
I ran into him last July, and we got hooked up and decided
cool.
to go racing.
Yeah, great.
And I have a friend, Ed Shield, who's been helping me. And then thanks to Art Ray, longtime friend, and my daughters, Melissa and Tiffany Weber, who's been doing an absolute great job on the website for me.
Cool.
And my grandson, Spencer, who helps. So
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, we got a lot of help.
Yeah.
For just a little bit of racing that we're going to do.
Right. So how are you involved now? You taking that thing apart every week? You just kind of making things look right? I mean, there's a lot of people you're bringing in. It seems like maybe for the first time they're working on a car.
Yeah, well, I was told not to take it apart too much. But
Okay.
I've had to make it my car,
Mhm.
so I've made some changes, and
Okay.
it's helped.
Yeah.
Our times got really good this weekend, so I know we're going in the right direction.
Good. Good.
And it's been a short time, so.
So when you mentioned you ran sports, when you ran super late models, a lot of it came down to the horsepower and the engine. The
Yeah.
one constant I like about the 602 late models, they call them 602s for a reason.
Yeah.
That's
We
a
all-
602 engine in there.
We all
Everybody's
have
got the same one.
We all have the same part number.
Yep.
And we can't do nothing to that motor other than valve springs and timing. That's it. You know, and you
Yeah.
got the same tires, same. You know, everybody's got their own chassis.
Right.
But yeah, it's.
And then you got guys like Dennis Prunty running Chris Radicek's car. You
Yeah.
got Billy Preetzel hopping in and out, hopping out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of neat. You got some guys that you raced with then, or you watched race, and they're like,
Right.
hey, I want to learn something.
Yeah,
I want to race
raced
with these guys.
against Chris.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just, I think I need just a little more seat time.
Gotcha.
And because I know this is a good car. It's a Port City chassis, and just get the right setups, and I think we'll be there.
Hang out with Larry Johnson. He races on Sunday night, July 9th, the prelude to the Nationals at Slinger Super Speedway. When's the last time you raced at Slinger?
1994.
Whoa, okay.
Something like that.
I've
It was
seen you in the
super-
stands there before. You've been there a lot of times. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You never. Yeah.
Wow, 94. All right.
I actually raced at Slinger 1 year on dirt.
Really?
Yes.
Paved in
Right out of high
1974, I
school.
believe.
Right out, yes.
Wow.
I remember walking the track when they had it all ready to pave.
Wow.
In 74.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I get a chance to race there again.
Yep.
Part of the deal. Who is sponsoring that beautiful number 20?
Okay, my sponsors, Ronan Steel of Pewaukee, Promax Powder Coating of Big Bend, Weber Auto Body, Rick Weber, North Prairie, D&T Well Services in Soldiers Grove, and Deb Elke, Ameriprise in Brookfield.
That's
I
a lot
wanna
of good
thank
people,
them.
too. Yeah, for sure.
Everybody came on board and decided to help us, and we're having fun.
I love Dell's Raceway Part 2. It's really a cool
Oh.
place, and they treat you right, and it's a really growing division, as I alluded to early on. It's got to be fun knowing there's new people coming, too.
That's one of the reasons I went to Dell's. I grew up going there when I was a young kid. And
Yep.
I wanted to go back. I raced there a little bit in the Sportsman and late model days. But no, Dell's is a neat track.
Really cool they have you on the
Having
show.
fun. Thanks.
You got the car ready to go already? Is it ready for now, or you got to go
It
back
is.
to the shop and do a few more tweaks?
No, we're ready for Slinger.
All right.
So that's our next race.
A lot of big changes. Bring out the old notebook. Going, okay, that's
Yep.
my right front camber. That's what I need for this
Yep,
thing.
Yeah, a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, cool. Back home at Slinger again. Hey, I want to stand for Larry Johnson for joining us tonight. Larry, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thanks to your agent Art Ray as well. He was on it. Like, we got to get Larry on the show. Yeah, we do. And I was really happy in Pensacola, Florida, to hear you say, "Hey, when I get back to Wisconsin, I'm going racing again." I'm like, what? So I've been looking forward to this moment.
my head, right?
Well, something. And I'm looking forward to seeing you race sometime soon. I want to get the chance right quick. I can't do it this weekend, but I'll be certainly to track you down soon.
Well, we're off this weekend anyways.
Well, it's July 9th.
Yeah, right.
On through. Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Larry.
Well, thank you.
Really appreciate it very much.
Appreciate
We got some breaking news for you. Thanks to the world of internet, Greg Lapine has just let me know that Jesse Bernhagen, who was our guest last week on the show, he's fine. He's actually really good. There's now a $1,000 bounty on Jesse Bernhagen if somebody can win the feature because he's won 5 of them already this year. There's a $1,000 bounty that Todd Thielen talked his wife Elizabeth into saying, why don't we do something cool? Make sure that if somebody else wants to win, they get rewarded for that. So it's kind of cool that Jesse Bernhagen now has a $1,000 bounty on his head at Slinger Super Speedway. They're racing this Sunday night, a big fireworks spectacular. Super Lates and Pro Lates at Slinger. We'll see you there on Tuesday night, July 11th. That's our next show. Enjoy the 4th of July holiday, everybody, and enjoy the fact that we get to do this in a free country and have a great time doing it. I want to say thank you to everybody for being part of our program. We're live at the front gate at the Slinger Nationals on Tuesday night, July 11th. Thanks to D'Angelo's Construction, Oak Creek Automotive, and Keith's Marina. I want to thank all of our guests for coming on tonight. What a great turnout. What a great bunch of guys and gals bringing their cars down as well. Thank you so much for being part of it. I want to thank David Gravel for his time as well after winning the big $250,000 payday on Saturday. We have a great show planned for you on July 11th on through September. We'll see you soon. Until then, set your DVRs, support your local racing, and have at it, racers.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Like our show on Facebook and share our show with your friends. Follow and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. To listen and watch our shows on demand, visit our website, racingroundupshow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks. Set your DVRs. Have at it, racers.